it will get so worse that Otto and his technical team will be fired. He was good enough after that tournament to have gone into proper coaching, not go back and be doing development and scouting at Dortmund. He himself knew that he couldn't meet one of the requirements for the Black Stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Mallam Goal podcast by Betway, and guess who is back? Mama, me fans. Give me fans.
Yeah.
Dogo Moro. Oh boy.
Look,
Welcome back.
I did that.
Charlie, I miss you guys. Hey, it's been like forever.
Charlie,
I don't know what.
Charlie, since Olympics, so.
I still talk to my wife.
Yeah.
6 episodes.
My friend has gone to the Olympics. He instead of him to come back, but because of this,
Because
What is this?
viewers can interpret that. Because of this,
But that is not fair on the listeners.
no, but I mean,
They
they
will
understand. You see, when you see my hand, you should
No.
understand.
Those listening on
Coach,
Spotify.
people that have grown fat, have I grown fat?
See,
Is my stomach bigger?
Ramadan will come.
it's a bit. You see, we
It's
know the
okay.
way your stomach
Is it okay?
changes
or-
dramatically during the Ramadan. Then the
Reverse to type.
Oh man,
Yeah,
a lot
Charlie.
has happened.
Yeah.
Charlie, how is the
Olympics
family?
happened.
How is the family?
Oh, everybody's fine, coach.
I miss my daughter and my grandson.
You do, eh?
Yeah.
Me too. I miss them.
Already.
Already.
I do. Then you should say, go plant one.
Coach, what are you talking about? I'm coming from the Olympic Games. After the Olympic Games, I was stuck. I didn't have money. So I stayed back and I did some small
Are you denying the fact? My daughter is watching the
I
program.
did hard labor.
And you are denying my own daughter in front of me.
Oh.
What sort of man is this?
I
Who
did,
is this
I
man?
Did, I, did,
What sort of man is
is
this?
I did hard labor. You know the job I was doing in
No, but
Paris?
hard labor with proper
Oh, yeah.
enjoyment.
If I stand in the train station, if you are coming, I carry big bag, you can't carry there. I'm going to carry for you.
Quick,
Then
So when you finish that,
That's-
you're going to do.
Oh,
DK!
coach.
Let's start the don't talk some. Don't talk some. Charlie, tell him to talk some.
You know what be funny?
Oh, let me remove my hat.
You know what be funny?
yes.
Then times if coach do this, I for be very measured in my laughter because my mother go watch. Then she go look me some way. Right now, I have freedom.
You are
I
experiencing-
can laugh.
Shala Pushia. Shala Pushia.
Guys, I miss you guys, man.
Charlie, welcome.
I miss you. I miss you. And for even to our viewers, man, I've missed you guys a lot. I've been watching the show. It's not the same when you are out. Like when you are not inside,
Yeah.
it's not the
I want to
same.
say something, but Charlie.
Hey, I want to say something,
Oh, Charlie.
but Charlie, I can't. But since I have been gone,
Mhm.
things have happened.
Plenty.
Otoado, World Cup qualifying, excellent. 2 wins out of 2. Danike came here, got coach. And now it's like the gods of football.
Where they call you mama? Where they call you mama? Where they call you mama? Therefore, they are fat chicha. Therefore, they are fat chicha. Fat chicha. Therefore, they are.
Coach, your students are watching you.
Coach, why? Wait.
Where they call you mama?
But
Where they call you,
I didn't
mama?
know you.
Where they call
I
you,
didn't
mama?
know.
But coach, why are you still dating?
Did you listen to Fen? He said when Otto won the first 2,
World
got
Cup
me?
qualifying. Decay.
now where they call you mama? Where they call you? Therefore, they are fat chicha. Therefore, they are fat
You've
chicha.
given them a new memo.
You're fat
Oh,
chicha.
God.
Wait,
It's like-
wait. Do your students know you are like this?
For that is not the issue here. The issue is
It's like-
Ekoye,
Mama.
Therefore,
Like
they are
God,
young
is share-
fat
God,
chicha.
God is sharing the agenda.
Do you think God will disgrace his son? I beg you, yeah.
So this is our national team.
2 World Cup qualifying matches. Otto won 2 out of 2. And we had enough justification to come here and say, yes, the FA were right. in giving Otto the job because we can see the signs. And we were expected to build on those signs. But when we played against Angola, we lost. The guys reviewed that game. We blamed the pitch. In fact, disgraceful. That pitch cry has got us banned. We'll get to that. But then we were going to Morocco to play against Niger, who themselves have been banned. So, neutral ground. Excellent pitch. What was expected? Go there, play your football. Pa, 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 pa. Win comfortably. Also, it's against Niger. It's Niger. It's Niger. 1-1. So now, after 2 games, we have 1 point. To make matters worse, we have to play a double header against Sudan. And the double header, one of it that was supposed to be at home, will now not be at home because we have to play that game at a neutral ground, at a different country. Because Ghana, the Appiah Stadium has now been banned. We'll get to those issues. But let's review the game itself, the second game. Coach.
Manager.
That second match, I watched the game in fact, I watched after 35 minutes, I couldn't watch the rest of the first half. I was so angry.
Yes. You could see. You could see. Oh, Charlie.
What could you see?
Oh, Charlie.
What could you see?
What Otto couldn't see, you could what? See. That is the point I'm making. Oh, Charlie. That's the point I'm making.
What happened? Like, genuinely, I don't understand. It's like, look,
friend,
they were so lethargic. They looked lost. They were so slow. The movement, they seemed lost. And they seemed like they didn't have any motivation.
friend.
You know that is the worst start to an AFCON qualifying campaign we've had since 2004. 2004, we lost our first game. And that one were 3 teams. We didn't qualify.
You didn't qualify.
Friend,
Jimmy Gatete.
you see,
Yes.
me, maybe because of my science background and the thing I do for a living, chemistry.
Mhm.
You see, there are 4 branches of chemistry: analytical, physical, organic, and inorganic.
Oh, yes.
When I decided to do chemistry to the master's level, I was asked at the University of Tennessee, which area are you
The
going
University of...
to? Tennessee.
No.
Tennis.
Oh, you.
Why is he saying it slowly?
No, it's
I
okay.
wonder-
You
the
say,
University
It's
of...
okay. Let's go on. I was asked, Mr. Nimley, by my then supervisor,
Yes.
Dr. Ho.
His name is what?
Ho.
Oh, the name you have to say Chung.
Oh. He asked me, Nimley, which branch will you want to major and minor in? And I told him, I will minor in organic and major in analytical chemistry.
That's right.
So when I'm analyzing issues, I bring my expertise to this. I sat here. Look, those of you watching this program, it will get so worse that Otto and his technical team will be fired. No fault of theirs. They are just not up to the task.
Because of these 2 matches, or
No.
because you didn't
No,
have
but
that?
where you come, look, we won against Mali,
Yes.
not because we deserve to win.
Oh, wow.
We sat here. I did analysis here. We robbed Car. You know who Car is, isn't it?
CAR. It's
Yes.
not car.
Car. We
Central
robbed them.
African-
We robbed. Last week, God been so
We won
good.
4-3.
For the first time. DK here admitted to viewers that
But you bullied him into admission.
indeed Car was robbed.
CAR,
At least
coach.
I said the goal they scored wasn't an offside.
So if you add that goal 4-4, they had a clear penalty which was not given to them. 5-4.
No, there wasn't a penalty.
Oh, no more.
Okay, let's not digress. Coach, you see why, by the way, before you go,
Oh,
the
what
reason I
is it?
was stressing on the Tennessee is that,
Oh.
hold on, you see, no, wait, I want to finish my joke.
Forget
now.
about that one.
It's because Coach said that what Otto couldn't see, he could see because he went to the University of Tennessee.
Now go day. Now go day. Yeah,
You see?
now go day. Yeah. So you see, if you look at where we came from after the AFCON, friend,
Okay.
I'll come to the game. there was absolutely no justification whatsoever. No, nobody could have convinced me that this technical team that is coaching the Black Stars now was the best for the team. A technical team that didn't meet one of the requirement, rather ends up getting the job. He comes, he wins his first 2 games very questionably. Some of us were very cautious. Look, if you understand football, you can see football, you wouldn't have jubilated over those 2 wins.
Are you saying the performances were not good?
I'm saying
the Mali
we didn't deserve to. Look, the Mali performance,
Yes.
that
The
game
second half especially. The
at most should have
substitutions.
ended 1-1. That Mali defender who made that error for Isaku to pick the ball. Any other day, if I'm the coach, he sits down.
But it happens in games.
The party
We also
1-1.
Listen,
No, forget Partey.
Oh, but they
The
had
Angola game.
water.
We made it. Our defender also made a
he also
mistake.
made that
Moment
error.
made a
and
mistake.
which mistake did he
Moment. The clearance
make? He
was.
couldn't clear the ball well.
It's because of the
He
pitch.
couldn't clear.
The Mali defender, could he clear?
It was not to clear.
What was he doing?
He was controlled. Isaku came and took
Yes,
the ball.
But he also couldn't
But he
execute
also
his-
couldn't. He also couldn't do something.
I beg you, yeah. Look, try and justify. You see, you people should try and be bending the rules just to suit Otuado.
Okay.
The bomb that is waiting to explode is Ghana not qualifying for the next.
Fair enough.
That will be-
Talk to me about this game.
Look, we watch the game. I watch it.
Yes.
You watch it. You run commentary at your station. And at a point in time, your voice couldn't. Oh my goodness! You asked,
No,
things are going.
That one is true. That one is true.
I was listening.
Yeah, that
What
was
is this?
What? He was frustrated.
What is stop? I beg you, yeah. You couldn't run commentary.
He was what?
Look, things are not. This is not the Black Stars of Ghana. Just an NCC.
Oh my days.
I was crying for my brother.
He was dazed.
Absolutely
Dazed.
Oh, Charlie.
In Ghana we say "Padi is silly."
It's silly.
And now when? And now when? Oh wait.
Coach, and if Granton gives up on Otto Addo,
He's finished.
it means
I told everybody after the Angolan game that yes, the pitch was bad. Very, very bad.
Okay.
But the coaching was equally bad.
on the
You were
day.
here on the day. You were here. And I said, look, you may want to blame the pitch, but the coaching itself was very bad. And that point was what then manifested 4 days after. After they had a perfect pitch, everybody then saw that indeed the coaching was bad. Look, if Otto is under pressure and he is looking at things tactically, trying to micromanage his players, who are those people helping him decide on tactical matters?
What's the
Somebody.
name of the
Lawman.
And who?
lawman?
And who?
And John Pencil. That's the name.
What are their coaching credentials? You use our Black Stars as Matra Makwe, Keto Kreku, and these people. What are, see, it is so painful. Thank you. Unless maybe you don't want to see it the way I see it. It is so painful.
I'm
that-
trying to understand.
Look,
your
it is
point
so
of view.
painful that somebody who cannot point to even coaching a Division 1 team in Ghana is the deputy to the apex of our game. Which country in the world would make such a decision? So look, you may want to hide to protect them. You may want to lure some journalists like the FA have done to some journalists to speak well of them. Because they are so incompetent and they are not of that standard, they will expose themselves. Look, you are going to play against Niger. Practically the team that everybody thinks will be the whipping boys of the group. You've just lost to one of your key competitors. That alone from the technical team should be motivational enough to get the team to play with a proper intensity.
There was no intensity in the
In the first 30 minutes, if I am the coach, that game will be over. That game will be over in 30 minutes.
I see.
A proper coach would have called Partey, called Kudus, called everybody. Niger plays
In
number
one
one.
of those water breaks, what was he telling them? The water
no.
breaks. Coach, you are wrong for this.
No clear instructions. Did you see any instructions after he spoke? What
He was doing what? He was doing what?
He said, wait, what does he say? No.
Tell him why. Why?
Defend.
Oh,
After he has spoken to them after the water break, did you see any change? What change? Tell me.
Zero.
Nothing changed. Cost 90.
That's because
Because he was
He couldn't make his point. He didn't even know what to tell them. But if Otto himself didn't, if he had a solid technical bench behind him, they're very relaxed.
So he doesn't have support.
I bet he think that bench is better. I was just telling the K, Offset, that I'm giving him an assignment. First of all, he should compare us, our technical team, to the elites on the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
Then he should widen the net to the whole of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I am stating emphatically, anybody watching Mallam Goal podcast, that our technical team is among the weakest technical team on the continent. Unless
how do you define by? Do you mean by
virtue
no
of
experience?
experience,
No,
yeah.
nothing. What? Nothing. Otto, no experience. John Peso, nothing.
Nothing.
Law him from nothing. Wait, where are their coaching experience? You use the Black Stars like that. Last week, I highlighted it cannot be relative. Percentage-wise, it cannot be relative.
No,
Friend,
I'm trying to say that he has some coaching experience, right?
What I'm talking ball, scouting, development. That is not the coaching experience I'm talking about here.
He did take your team to the World Cup.
And what was it?
He did take the team there. That alone.
Yeah, he was there. What was the outcome? He was good enough after that tournament to have gone into proper coaching. Not go back and be doing development and scouting at Dortmund. He himself knew that he couldn't meet one of the requirements for the Black Stars. He was head coached by Keto Kreku and his people. He didn't apply for it. He was told to apply. Because, you see, that is why the dishonesty in his appointment is so huge.
What did he get wrong in the Sudan, Niger game?
Look,
because you mentioned the intensity issue. Is that on the players or on the coach?
It's on the coach.
Alone?
Listen.
I'm listening.
It trickles down. It has to trickle down from the coach to the technical team, to the playing body.
Sure.
I didn't see any red eye to add. For him to,
he doesn't sit. He feel like he's always very agitated, always sweating.
Did you see him agitated that day? He was just there when the water break came.
At least he was sweating.
I'm telling you, when I speak there, you are laughing. I didn't see any change. Granted, did you see any change? Zero change. And look, now tactically, I believe for once, I had spoken about the positioning of Antoine Semenyo. If you want to play him out wide, he should be on the right. The mistakes that were committed in the game against Angola, he took the same error into that. We couldn't even suppress the Nigerians for even 3 minutes in the entire 90 minutes. 2,
they were very dangerous on that side, actually.
They should have beaten us. You saw the goal. There was a look. There was a move that had 4v2.
4v2 and he missed
it. We were leading 1-0 at the time.
Yeah.
You see how bad the coaching was.
Catching us 4-2.
You see how bad the coaching was. We were leading 1-0 at the time. Maybe you can lure them into committing and go and punish them. Rather, we were leaving ourselves exposed.
Yeah.
What sort of coaching was that?
That
It's
was
a
like,
must-win
that was
game.
after 70 minutes.
Yes, that was a must-win game. We were already leading at the time. What even took me off was the changes he made.
Elijah
Wusu. Wait. It's not good enough. Then you bring on Jordan and the championship striker.
Braden.
Who should go and lead the attack? You said that boy should go and play on the left. Have you watched him before? Asante, have you watched him before? He's a center forward. Yeah. Then you ask him he should go and play on the left, take on the fullback 1v1, a team that is playing 5 across. With 5 across me, there's always a defensive line cover.
Yeah.
You ask, look, the coaching was so bad. Friend, if I say I'm going to talk,
I know you are very.
I will say certain things that will make it seem as if
you're just
know
plainly
nothing.
disrespecting people.
But the truth is the truth. Look, maximum, we can get a total of how many points? 13. Taka 4 games. We have 1 already. So if you win all the 4, 12 plus 1, 13.
Yeah.
And we'll qualify.
But we will not get the 13.
Fair enough. We can still qualify with 10.
And I'm saying, I'm looking at your maximum. Angola, as it stands now, maximum, they can get what? 18.
Yes.
Sudan, maximum, they can get what? If you add 3 to their 3, can get 15. You and Niger, maximum can get 12.
13.
I can emphatically say the Black Stars will not win all the 4 games.
Okay. I mean, that's a fair point to make, yes.
And I can also go on and say that they will be lucky to beat Sudan here in Ghana.
We are not playing here.
That is even an icing on the cake.
We are not playing. We have
Because
been banned.
Dr. James Appiah, he knows our football so well that, I say, coach, they are my paying masters. They feed me. They put food on my table. I will do my work. My work will speak for itself.
And to be fair, he's having a good World Cup.
But you saw the game. Look, although
and
they
were
lost that
unlucky
game,
to lose against Angola. In
yes!
fact, somebody will say they were robbed.
They were robbed. And I'm very
The game
certain that
was
they will
really
pay-
tied until the
look,
penalty.
Until the penalty.
Yeah.
There was no way they were going to lose that game.
Yeah.
And I was actually, wow.
Sudan are very good. They're very good.
They're
They're very good.
In Luanda.
Look,
And their World Cup qualifying campaign, they're in the same group with
With
Senegal,
Senegal.
and they're going with them head to head. There's no backing down.
look, you look at this Sudanese, you can clearly see that it is the coaching that is making them tick.
I have a question though, Coach. Let me go to. Are you okay to go?
Eh,
before I
what told
come
you,
back?
Shane Kwaso? There's nothing going on to say. Oh, call you, mama. Hey, dear, call you, mama. Don't you have that song? That teacher, therefore, dear, I'm fat teacher.
Okay, hold on. I want to ask Daniel. Then I'll come back to the end.
Otto Shane Kwaso, Ujitum.
The whole issue about the coaching. I don't necessarily disagree with Nimli, especially over the coaching for the 2 matches.
It was bad.
Yes, I don't, especially the second game
one.
against Niger. That one had issues. But I also had issues with the attitude. Where is the self-application? Because we have had teams with bad coaches, but the players themselves will go out there.
Before the kick
It has to mean something.
Just before the kicking. You remember when the job was given? I said, we needed a coach who would walk into that dressing room
And command a certain level of
authority.
yeah.
A coach who can look in the eye of Thomas Partey like Arteta would do, of Kudus, like Lepetega would do, when he's not going according to the plan. Pull him out!
You think
That's
Otto
what-
doesn't have those balls?
Oh, I beg you.
I thought Otto was a disciplinarian.
For
But
what?
Dike, you've been backing him. But right now, he's really put us in a tight spot.
Look, I'm disappointed, and I said it on Monday. It's a huge disappointment because of the direction I thought we were going in. Look, we've struggled. The Black Stars have struggled
Of
a
course.
lot, especially in the past 4 or 5 years. It's been an extremely difficult period. And then for the first time in I think 2 years, we won back-to-back competitive games. One of which we
didn't
can
expect it to
can
happen.
more coach. I mean, even me, I'm sitting here if I was shocked. Going to Bamako to win was a huge shock. Then topped it off with a very good second half performance against Car, ending up winning the game. I thought that, and you see, when you look at the strength of the opposition in this international window, it was basically the perfect build-off point, the perfect
To
next
build
step
on those 2 games.
to build on those 2 games. Like it wasn't. It's not like
wasn't complicated.
Yes, it's not like we're going to Luanda. It's not like we're going away. It was the perfect possible
Play at home against a beatable
Scenario.
team. Play
scenario.
away against
and
the
then go-
weakest team.
And then
And on neutral grounds. as well.
Angola happened. When Angola happened, look, frankly speaking, and I'll still defend the point. Look, the pitch was so bad, it was even very difficult for me to properly analyze the game. Like, it was extremely difficult because you could tell players' decision-making was influenced by the state of the nature of the pitch. But I genuinely thought that Niger would be a complete... And what coach said is true. I thought that after the backlash they had received, losing the first game at Babara in 24 years.
That unwanted issue.
You blame the pitch. The fans riot after the game. It's the perfect opportunity to go out and make a statement in that. Look, first 35 minutes, make a proper statement.
So the foregoing circumstances had perfectly set it up.
It has set, look,
for a romping win.
It was the sort of preceding circumstances where you don't even need a coach to give you a team talk. If you're a top professional footballer who understands what the jersey means, you don't need a coach to give you you don't need the coach to give you a pep talk for that Niger game. You don't need at all. On top of that, there were less than 500 people at the stadium.
No pressure.
In the stands. No pressure.
Like
at
training
all.
game.
Look, basically behind closed doors. Perfect pitch, perfect weather, perfect time of the day. Everything was set for you. And then the attitude, I'll start with the attitude of the... It's so disappointing. The attitude. Because, and this one, Code Mickey said it. Everybody who was supposed to play played.
Yes. No, there's no excuse. There was no excuse.
Popular demand.
No injury.
Look, popular demand 11. The ones that we say should be playing, no. All of them played.
Yes.
There's no excuse. And then you had like somebody like Ashmeru giving away 5-yard passes. Partey in the first half. Simple. You are wearing red. Your teammate is wearing red. You are passing to somebody in white. Look, to be frank.
The one he froze on the ball.
He froze and they just took it away from him. Look, the only player I can exclude from this is, and the funny thing is Salisu. Salisu was the only one who looked like
he was up for it.
He was up for it, and he wasn't comfortable with how they were playing. He was the only one, because if you noticed, it got to a point, after like first 15 minutes, Salisu started rushing long balls, and he was asking the forward guys to make runs, because it was a high line. You were high line. Why are you dropping deep again for the ball? Like, it just didn't make sense.
This is not small pools.
It's not small pools.
That is where the coaching too should have also come in.
Bad coaching. Look, I'll get there.
Chalet.
So disappointing that.
But Daniel, on
even
that
after
point,
I don't want to lose my train of thought. There was a water break.
Yes.
One opportunity
to fix it
in the first half for you to pump steam into them. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? We didn't see any change after that.
I know what they were doing. Coach, what was it?
Because
he was gargling water.
Because there was water in the mouth. Yeah, the water break.
Go on, Granty.
And then, look, this thing might seem contentious, but for me, look, funny enough, look, if you've we have done a lot of reading on body language, a lot.
Yes.
Even the body language after this guy scored a goal.
Did
you see them?
I saw it.
No, I saw.
You are playing shit football and you score a long range shot. And it's like, yeah, training, okay.
Like, it's nothing.
It's nothing. Are you guys serious? Like, this is an opportunity for the captain, somebody to pump energy into them. Like, you are lucky.
It was so nonchalant.
So not like, yeah.
We didn't deserve that goal at the time.
We didn't deserve it. And then went to half
from
time.
an unlikely goal source.
And his first ever goal for the Black. And it seemed like,
you give him another 100 games.
No emotion.
That's what I'm saying.
No
I was surprised at it. I'm
No
like,
emotion.
this is your first ever game. It's a wonderful strike.
You can't fake what you don't feel.
Look, see. Then the halftime break. We're doing the commentary. At halftime, I went upstairs. I didn't even stay for. I didn't want to hear what the boys were saying. I went upstairs. I went to drink water and clear my mind. Because, in my heart, I was like, see. And I went upstairs. I was telling the boys, I want to keep fresh. Say keep fresh. They are making my work hard. It is impossible.
It's not exciting.
It is impossible to speak something positive about this performance. It's impossible. Second half, something needs to happen. Only for the second half to be worse. And it wasn't just worse in terms of attitude. That's where, for me, my grievances with the coaching comes in the second half.
Right.
The first point is what coach talked about. If you shine, if you've made up your mind that you will score, at least set up in a way that you will not be scored. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's a must-win game.
You were passing the ball around,
Such a
dominating
stupid goal to
possession.
Concede two.
Yet the rest defense, the off the ball positioning
Was so bad.
was so bad. That's one. Number two, if you are that wide apart, your counter pressing needs to be top notch.
Yeah.
That's right.
You lose the ball and you see players walking. And look, that's why I say it's a combination of player attitude and coaching. If you see something, I always say, Ten Hag,
They look
if you
very
see something and the
disinterested.
thing is not good, do something about it, or you are telling me you like it. It's as simple as that. If you don't adjust, if you don't make a change, if you don't pull somebody in and tell the person a piece of your mind, and you allow it to continue, you are telling me that you are
That's
satisfied with it.
approval.
Thank you. That was so poor.
Yeah.
Even to the point that, did you guys notice that? First half, Niger's goal kicks, they were booting it long.
Yeah.
Second half, they started playing from the back.
Which means,
Again,
There was no
confidence.
press.
No press.
Nobody was pressing.
Nobody was pressing them. It was
and
so,
their coach saw that. For him
nobody
to
was
have
pressing
changed
them.
it in the second
So
half.
don't rush it. Now play. No pressing, nothing. And then the substitutions.
Oh God.
Look,
Charlie.
me, I will not touch on the Elisha thing. I will not touch on the Elisha thing.
Hey,
I don't understand
a
how
shock.
a team is playing 5. They were, look, if you don't even understand football, safe, when you watch the TV, you can see a sea of white shirts with a long line.
Every time.
And the
And-
spaces are so obvious.
Just look, a sea of white shirts, like they are there, crammed, plenty. And it's from one side of the pitch to the
To
other.
another side.
You are playing an unnatural winger in Semenyo, It's a hack.
natural fullback.
a natural
The same
fullback
size,
in
same
your friend
Alidu.
Alidu. That's okay. Fine. You've made a mistake. This is an opportunity for you to rectify it with a substitution. When I saw the double substitution, obviously, I'm running commentary. I see that. I turned back and I was like,
What did I just see?
are we going to play two? Like, what is going to
Is
happen?
it going 4-4-2?
Is it going 4-4-2? Are we going 2-top
Yeah,
with
in
Jordan?
fact,
Because that's
that was
the
my
most
initial
rational
thought.
thing. Like, that's what I thought.
I said maybe that was what he was
And it was
going
only odd to me because I've not seen Otto do that before.
That's right.
So I was like, are we going 2 top? And if we are going 2 top, in practicality, it sort of makes sense. Because when you look at the profile of the players, Jordan can do the holding up.
And then this guy.
And this guy can. So it sort of made sense. Then they come on the pitch. First action, second action. Braden is playing on the left. And he's encountering the same problems
That's Semenyo
that
went through.
Yeah.
Isahaku
Isaku
was facing there. Isahaku is a natural winger and was playing on his natural side. Now let me explain it. Isahaku playing on his natural side against a winger who is tied to him. All he has to do is to skip past him
That's
and he
it.
takes a cross.
That's right.
When you are playing on a natural, you have to skip past him, cut back. That's another second to
Yes.
allow
Yes.
an already crowded defense
To recover.
Yes.
before you make the
Yes.
cross.
Yes.
So in essence, Isahaku should have been having an easier time
Yes.
than a natural winger playing there with his and a natural winger
And the
playing on
attack
that
should
side.
be quicker with.
It should be quicker with-
But it wasn't.
It wasn't. So if you're taking him off, and then I looked at the bench. Ibrahim Osman. What should he do again? You remember that last week's analysis? I said that get the job done early
And give this guy
and
some
give
chance.
these guys a chance
Yes.
because we are going to look the way we run our Black Stars. You are going to do this thing again. Look at what has happened to Mumin. Hase comes off the bench against Mali. All of a sudden, Jiku is injured, and he's the first
He's
choice.
thrown in there.
How often has Mumin got an opportunity to play with Salisu as a center back pair? This was the first time the two of them were playing together
Yes.
in the Angola game. And
In the Niger game.
these are the sort of games that you do your business early
And
so
allow
that
the
when you
people to
thank
walk
you,
into the match.
they can warm
Get
into the game.
comfortable.
Get comfortable. And you see, even forget that. At 1-0, yes, there was pressure because they knew how badly they were playing. But this is the perfect opportunity for a boy like Ibrahim Osman. There's no pressure on him.
No pressure.
He's playing, there's no crowd. Throw him in. He has...
Give him the confidence, the belief. Go in there and express
Najib, we know
yourself.
him. That 2017 under 17 team, it is my
massive.
team. We know Najib. Najib is good going for it. He's not the best defensive.
If Najib was good, he'll be playing
He'll
for
be
Black
playing
Stars.
for Black Stars.
Fact.
He's not that good. He just needed somebody. Look, you need a direct somebody to Take him on. That's what Ibrahim Osman will give to you. Then you bring a center forward, not a forward. The guy by trade is a center forward. He number 9. That's all. Number 9. That's what he knows how to do. And you ask him to play out wide. Even that double substitution was a mistake because of how you wanted to shape up. So I'm asking Otto, amongst the 2 players you brought on, who is more suited to play on the left-hand side?
It's Jordan.
It's Jordan.
Coaching problem.
Jordan.
Yeah, so exactly.
And you know what that did? It killed any form of attacking potency we had. And also seeded us, opened us up
for the Nigerians
to come
at us.
Because
Brandon doesn't have the defensive instinct.
Elisha, that's why I'm coming to Elisha.
Yes.
Elisha is not progressing the ball. It is safe passing, the safest options. And defensive option is also telling the opposition coach that you are satisfied, you are going to sit.
So let's come forward.
So now they started inviting pressure. And that's my concluding point. Why are you inviting pressure in the last 15 minutes of a game where you are almost 6 to 7 centimeters inferior in terms of height advantage? They have about 4 or 5 options in the box if they are going to be swinging balls in.
Yes.
It means the best, and you see, I always say, football philosophy is very interesting.
Oh, Charlie.
The way Mourinho defends, Pep can't do it.
No.
Pep can't coach that type
That's
of
not
defense.
his game.
And the same way Pep defends,
Mourinho
can't do it. Mourinho can't tell his team to keep the ball and pass the ball around. Because in his philosophy, if you've read, he will tell you that the longer you have the ball, the more likely you are to make mistakes. That's how Mourinho thinks. So you Black Stars, with Partey on the pitch, with Ashimeru,
even Jordan,
to hold that play, kill momentum. That's the best.
Take the steam out
Take
of the
the steam. You
don't do that in your half.
You do
go
in your position half.
In your position half.
You the 1-0 they toss, but it's still 3 points. You keep it like that. That's when they started ceding possession. And it's like they were comfortable conceding a set piece,
corner kicks.
The way you finish, it annoys me. It's like there's a certain sect, and that's why I tweeted this thing. We've made this habit, and right now I know it's very political. They've set a couple of names down to catch blame every time the team loses. When it was Dede, Baba, man, in fact, Jan, Wakasu, they all left. Jordan. How can you set your goalkeeper up in this manner?
And blame him for
this very foolish manner. Then you see the funny thing is that,
I saw some people try to blame him
I'm
for
telling
the
you
goal.
that there's nothing is coincidence. All of us, everybody's talking about Atizi. Analyze that goal and tell me what Atizi did wrong.
Can do to save the situation.
Even the Angola guy, if it wasn't for him.
You see,
look at the 2 saves he
That's
made.
what I'm
They
saying.
won't talk
And
about.
then
Somebody said, "Has he ever kept a clean sheet?" Rubbish.
if your defense is bad, how is your keeper going to keep a clean sheet? And then we assign blame to somebody. You can't defend set pieces. So why
are
are
we
you inviting
qualifying
it?
or not?
Well, as for right now, it's hope. You see, there are 2 qualifications happening concurrently. So I'm looking as for AFCON qualification. If God will take us, fine. But America,
We have to.
Let me, Professor, bring some concluding thoughts on this for me. Where do you stand in all of this?
I think watching our West Fears play before our eyes. At the time Otuado got the job, I said I was not happy, but I was going to support him.
Yes.
I remember you said it.
As I would every Black Stars coach. When we see things we disagree with, like Daniel has done, big fan, but if it is wrong, it is wrong. The reality is that the job is bigger than him. He's learning on the job. We were hoping
when they say we can't fit it, you know. This is what you see. This is what
job
you
is bigger than Otto.
It's bigger than him. It's not rich.
But when you took you to the World Cup, it wasn't bigger than him.
That he took us to the World Cup. I could have taken us to the World Cup. Do you know why I'm saying that?
Why is it?
That's why I'm saying that.
Why is
That
it?
one-off against Nigeria. Any coach at all could have gone in there and played
Any
that game.
coach at all,
You put me there.
you
We
qualify
qualify.
quick.
I'm telling you.
With cheeky ease.
Genuine benda.
Gaining what?
Genuine.
Mean benda.
No. You said something.
Genuine
You said something before. You used some word, genuinely bender.
benda.
We put you in that dugout in
Cheeky
those 2
ease.
matches against Nigeria.
You win
Look,
safe. It's not draw.
you
It's not
qualify-
Let me tell you. Against Nigeria, for the fact that it was Nigeria alone.
Was enough.
Anybody who walks in there understands the rivalry. The players didn't need any form of proper motivation.
So he Otto shouldn't get credit for that.
No, I didn't say he shouldn't get credit.
So I was giving
I've
him
always
credit.
said that he did not qualify us to the World Cup single-handedly.
No,
When you
no
say
one has
that,
said that.
you-
No one has
you-
added that.
and so what I'm saying is
That
that,
one.
look, CK and Co played the most difficult game. I'm telling
All
you.
right, cool.
I would have.
Achu,
So for me,
continue on
Nigeria,
your topic
home and away.
of the Blasters is bigger than him.
oh, the job is big. The expect or the hope we had was that he would grow into the job. He would
Yes.
learn on the job and then.
Yeah, you
grow
don't do
into
that
it.
at the zenith of your game.
But what we are seeing is that he's making basic mistakes. He's not trying to figure out how to handle a lot of some of these scenarios. Look, he's not stupid. It's not like he's daft. However, the experience to call on, right, the body of work that would have served him well in scenarios like this. So some of the things that appear to be basic, very basic, like in-game management, those substitutions and how to even ensure that the shape of the team stays and responds to every move the opponent makes. So when they stopped going long and decided to go short with their passing, in very patient in their build-up, what do you do to respond? What do you do to stop their momentum? All of those are things that an experienced coach, who may not necessarily be more intelligent than you, but is used to some of these things, will perhaps be able to respond in a much better manner. Right? And those are things that no one can run away from.
Right.
In terms of some of the things that we have spoken about in terms of application and all of that were things, this is why you are the coach. You saw some of these things when you were there. Right? And so for me, Otto takes responsibility for this. I mean, Danny and coach have spoken about the tactics and all of that. But I will still keep saying that we need to be patient with this team.
Oh yeah.
Fair point.
We've been terrible for the longest time.
Mhm.
The last good Black Stars I remember was AFCON 2017. And I want to remind people, just so people understand that, look, old habits die hard.
I would even dare say 15.
Well,
I
look,
disagree with what you are
there
saying.
is
Let
there
him
is
be-
You
but let
have to
him
be
make-
patient.
so you let me
Be
make-
patient with what?
let me make my
Let him
case.
finish.
No, what sort of patience are you
But-
asking for? No, but
Exactly.
what sort of
No, you've
patience
asked
is
the
So
that?
let
question.
me
What sort of
explain.
patience?
What sort of patience is
So
that?
let me
Yes, so
explain.
let him
You
explain.
have given the job to
you
answer
asked
a
the
question.
question. You asked the
But
question.
let
Let
me
me
answer.
explain.
You will not
but
answer.
you the one-
You will
no,
not
no,
answer.
no,
You will
no,
not
are you
answer.
the host?
You don't answer.
What are you
Are
talking
you the
about?
host?
Let him explain.
You are not the host. Be
You
disciplined.
have the question. Let him explain.
Be disciplined for us.
Atito. Atito.
You ask the question
Whoa,
that you are
whoa,
answering.
Look
the
at
question.
Ona.
Be disciplined
Whoa.
for us.
No, but
Today you are
Ona has
He
a
is
point.
winner.
Ona has a point.
Okay.
Ona has a point.
When I'm over to defend. And I hope if he will be a
Are you
If he is
asking?
there.
Look.
What kind of patience? He's explaining. Let him
Look.
explain.
Two
be
truths
patient.
can coexist. It is true that Otto has not done a good job over these two games.
Fair.
The questions about what he could have done and all of that are not misplaced.
Yeah.
We also, you cannot
Fair.
run.
Fair.
The other truth also is the circumstance that he inherited.
Okay.
Now, I've also established that some of it were the reasons why he was brought to come and fix.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that he is
contradicting
responsible.
yourself.
No,
No,
let him
he's
finish,
no.
coach.
It doesn't mean that
He's
he.
building.
You said the job is bigger for the man. Then the man to come and fix what? He cannot fix it.
Coach.
He's bigger. The job is bigger. than
Coach.
him. Didn't he
What
say
you
that?
need to do is
No,
listen more.
He already said.
Listen,
You are
The
not
job
listening.
is bigger than the
No,
man.
no,
You
no.
see,
How can a
Yeah.
job that is bigger than you be fixed by you?
Namely.
But
Teach
listen.
me.
Listen.
namely.
Look, at you wait. Fail to wait.
We will not wait.
You have a problem.
Namely, you've
No,
been
he doesn't have a
interrupted
problem. You
twice.
have a problem.
You've interrupted.
you have a
He is a
problem.
problem.
Atu,
He doesn't have a problem.
did
He
you
is a
say the job
problem.
is bigger than Otto?
You are a
Did
problem.
you say that?
You are a problem.
Oh.
When Arteta got the Arsenal job, it was bigger than him.
Ateta.
Yes.
When he got
But
the
with
Arsenal
time,
job,
what
It
happened?
was
But
bigger
his
than
grew
him.
into
coaching
the
showed
job.
that his time.
Yes.
But that's what
so
he's
allow
saying.
him.
His coaching is not showing anything.
We are judging him
Atu
after
disagrees with you. What's your problem?
This Arteta's fifth year.
You see, let me tell you
No,
something. Wanderlei
You are
Luxembourg.
disrupting my train of thought.
Coach,
This is no.
coach.
This is not
Do you
fair.
know
no,
Wanderlei
coach, you don't have
Luxembourg?
You are
Luxembourg.
disrupting my
Yeah.
train of
You
thought.
know Lex
Nimble.
Luxembourg.
Oh, I want to.
We don't want
You
to
don't
know.
have any last
We
point.
don't
You
want
made
to
your
know.
point.
You would have learned from that.
No.
Well, I want to hear the
We
coach.
want to learn.
Do you know Wanderlei Luxembourg?
We know him. We know him.
Coach, I beg you.
Wanderlei
Oh, let him learn.
Luxembourg.
See,
Coach,
see,
coach,
see,
no.
see.
Let me
You
finish.
stop.
Charlie.
Let him just give
You are
a coach.
disrupting my
a-
train of
No,
thought.
coach.
Let me finish.
Don't do that. You let Achu finish.
Look,
Wanderlei
Luxembourg.
Luxembourg.
Charlie.
But two of
How are your students able to say
You go back.
How are your students able to say
Go back.
class?
Go back.
You can't.
Whether you disagree,
You can't allow coach to
Wait,
spark me and then you leave him hanging. Let him finish. I'm begging you.
Yeah.
Wonderly
Luxembourg.
I know him.
Actually,
Look,
don't back.
for me, the
You
scale of
disagree, but let him finish his
Actually,
point.
the
No, you
scale
let
of
him
the
finish
job.
his point.
the scale of the job that has to be done
Mhm.
is not a small job. The things that are wrong with this team are not things that will disappear in 8 months.
Yeah.
Even if you brought Mourinho, they can get you the results that will carry you along the line. But the bad habits that have underlined and
The
undermined
culture issue.
all of the previous managers will still be there.
Yes.
Maybe by this point, you would have dealt with about 25, 30% or 35. You would have seen some progress. But it doesn't mean those problems will not be there.
And the evidence to support what you are saying is that we've seen recurring issues under 3 different
And the
managers.
look,
So it's not just an auto issue.
Fence, since AFCON 2017,
Yes.
after AFCON 2017, we've won 1 AFCON match across 3 different competitions.
And Kwasi Appiah was a coach for one of those AFCONs.
Kwasi failed to beat Benin.
Yes.
We had, what was his name, Milovan Rajevac. Look at the experience these 2 coaches have. But some of the issues confronting
Don't
Otto
bring
today
Milo. At the time
were
Milo
issues
came, he was
that
sleeping.
No, but
those
we're just
managers
saying that
confronted.
there's
But even
evidence to support
Kwasi
the
then,
fact that different
2019,
coaches,
Kwasi suffered from the same
yes,
issues.
Yes.
This
yes.
issue of always overpacking the Black Stars camp, having too many people there and creating distractions. Look, it affects the psyche and the mentality of the team.
Mm.
The way they prepare for matches, you cannot have a horrible pre-match. Your prep for games, it cannot be horrible. And then you suddenly turn up on match day and you start looking sharp and all of that. No, there's something wrong with that. There is a relationship between everything we do before kickoff and how we perform on match day. That is why, if you look through the previous AFCONs, we've had some of the best, or on paper, best programs, pre-tournament programs. AFCON 2019, where did we go to? Abu
We
Dhabi.
went to camp in Abu
We
Dhabi.
went to
And this
AFCON
some funny photo shoot.
AFCON 2021. We went to Doha. World-class facilities paid with taxpayers' money, top dollar. But AFCON 2019 was the tournament we got kicked out from round of 16.
By
And I
Tunisia
said-
on penalties.
Yes,
Ekuba
after
and
losing
Baku.
to Benin, I knew that this team was not, after drawing with Benin, the only team we beat, I think, was Guinea-Bissau, Jordan.
2-0. Jordan
Last
and
group
Partey.
game.
We drew blank with Cameroon. AFCON 2021, we didn't win a match. Comoros beat us.
Yes.
Then Cote d'Ivoire. So you have a team that, and you see, these are not,
Emphasize what happened in Cote d'Ivoire. That place, we didn't win the match.
we didn't win a match.
Mm.
So you have a team that over almost 8 years, they haven't been able to be consistent. And under every coach, this issue of the players not applying themselves. When journalists said it, people started saying, hey, as for you, always you are creating excuses. Yes, a big part of it is coaching, but
Can I
this
ask
is
you
the
one
situation.
question?
Just let me finish.
Also with different generations.
Different generations
In fact,
of players.
The AFCON 2019, let me help you. There were the current squad.
Yeah.
There were only 2 players who were at AFCON 2019.
Partey, Jordan.
Finish.
Achu, can I ask
We've
you one
changed the
question?
whole team.
Partey, and you have changed teams. You have
Can I
changed
ask
some of
Achu
the
one question?
backroom staff. You have changed some members of the
And the
management
problems
committees.
persist.
Can I ask
So
Achu one
from
No,
playing
let him
body,
finish and then you ask. So
Friends.
you keep your question.
we have changed playing body. We have changed technical team.
Mhm.
We have changed management committee.
Mhm.
In fact, even in terms of the executive structure, in terms of the sports ministry and the people who play, we
I
have
think
cha-
at the GFA.
we have
Well,
changed
AFCON
all of them.
2019 was normalization.
Across all of these changes. Still, nothing seems to be changing.
Yes.
Rather, some of the mistakes we've made in the past, we keep repeating them.
Yes.
In terms of how we make some players feel indispensable, even when they are not consistent performers in the national team. And that is one of those areas I was disappointed with Otuado, because after 35 minutes, I would have hooked 2 or 3 of those senior players in that team.
I agree.
Because
They were underperforming.
for the longest time, Partey seems to get away with rubbish performances in the Black Stars.
Mm.
Mohamed Kudus, what was that performance? Right?
He was missing.
When they perform like that, the manager has to, not just in words, but what he does on the bench, has to tell the players that something is changed, something is different here. I was listening to Wayne
That
Rooney's...
performances have consequences.
Yes. I was listening to Wayne Rooney's podcast. You know, often when these ex-players talk about body language and how you shouldn't be laughing before games or you shouldn't be laughing before certain defeats, we sit back and say, we call them hipsters and hypocrites and all of that. Rooney said there was a game and was it Louis Van Gaal or David Moyes? One of those managers, one of his final managers at United. United lost to Liverpool. The following day in training, Jesse Lingard and some of those boys walked into the training ground and they are playing hip-hop music and they are jumping. And he looks around. Not everybody has an issue with it. And then it clicks that this is a new team. And that in the past, Gary Neville, Ferdinand, Patrice Evra especially, all of them would have told whoever was behaving in that manner. And he said, that behavior would not have happened anyway. If it happened, it was likely to be a new player. And the moment you start it, they will shut you up.
Right.
How many times haven't we heard stories of Black Stars players going on the plane after horrible performances, just having fun as if there's nothing at stake?
And then the question is, who is the gatekeeper of the
Of that
discipline?
team.
Of the Dede was the only
So-
gatekeeper the team had.
So over time, all of these little things that we don't pay attention to, but because Otto is
But they
an ex-
degrade the culture.
they degrade the culture. And it's Nyama. Nyama pulls one of the craziest stunts I have ever seen
As a
for a
national
young
team
player
camp.
at a national team. Black Meteors. And then at the next Black Stars call-up, his name is on the list.
And he plays.
He plays.
Ah.
So we've created a culture where players feel there's no consequence for misbehaving off the pitch. There's no consequence for disrespecting the national team. We've handed call-ups to players who did not deserve it. And sometimes, even for some of the players who do well, they walk into the national team and they feel like this guy doesn't need to be in the same team with me.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to give my all anyway, because come what may, I will still play.
You've clearly defined the problem. The issue now is giving Otto time the solution. Like, has he shown enough that given time, he can fix this? That's the ultimate question now.
No. And I think that the decision of whether or not he should continue should be made after those 2 games versus Sudan.
Okay.
Here's the thing for me. I don't think we have a good chance of qualifying. The damage has been done.
You don't think we will qualify?
I don't think we'll qualify.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind not qualifying for the AFCON if the World Cup qualifiers are retrievable.
Mm.
Right? You have a decision to make because, look, you are in the process of building a team. And I said it from the beginning when he was given the job that I didn't agree
But
with
you
it.
said we should be patient. Why are you giving me a 2-game
No,
ultimatum?
You are going to be patient with the team. But beyond some of the things that you have itemized, that I have itemized,
Mhm.
you also need to show that you can do the job. And time is something you earn.
And so far, what do you
So
think?
far, he's done an average job
Okay.
from the first 2 games. And then he was poor in the 2 games that followed. So his red card, he's probably scoring a 4.
Over 10.
Yeah. If we navigate those 2 games against Sudan, there is no hiding place.
No.
Against Sudan, there is no...
Go hard or go home.
You either are able to provoke a performance, and you see, it is not a one-off game, it's a double header.
Mhm.
You either are able to provoke a performance out of the players and find the tactical base to produce the result. And you see, a draw, 4 points against Sudan may not even be enough. But for me, the FA needs to communicate to him that is the minimum you're working with. Because let's ask ourselves, if they go and, excuse the language, they shit the bed again, what will be the justification for saying that Otuado should continue?
Especially the first game
Yes,
against Sudan.
because then,
And you go and drop points. Suddenly,
yes,
after
because
3 matches, we will be so far away
because then there would have been
I
serious
say
questions
I want
about
to
his
ask one
technical.
question.
No,
There
hold
would have
on.
been serious-
He's finishing.
Yes.
You ask your
But
question.
There would have been
coming back to
serious
my
questions
Mm.
already. There are questions about his tactical competence.
Mm.
If we don't get a result against Sudan, those will become a bit more profound.
Okay.
And then there will also be the question of his capacity to influence the cultural reset that this team needs. So our problem is in 2 folds.
Yeah.
You need a coach and then you need a manager.
Right.
So far, it doesn't look like he's capable of doing both.
I see. Coach, what's your question to Achu?
My question to Achu is that if you own something that is going through all the problems you have highlighted,
Mhm.
who would you employ to solve it?
But
Would you give the
I answered that
job?
already. I didn't agree with the
That
appointment.
That is the point I'm making. So
yes,
there's no need for patience. Sack him. Quick.
Okay, fair enough.
There's
All
no
right,
need for patience.
Guys,
He can't do the job.
That's
When
that.
you are
We will not even
patient, they will die.
We will not even bother talking about the stadium ban because that issue is so annoying.
We shouldn't go there.
It shouldn't because it will insult people's fathers.
We pleaded with CAF last week to do what? To ban it.
And they granted
They've
the
done the
wish.
job.
All right, guys. Let us know what you make of Otuado and the last two matches, especially. What did he get wrong? How can we beat Sudan in those two games? And do you think we will qualify for the AFCON? Ultimately, that's the question. Let us know in the comments. Share this with a friend. And also do subscribe and put the notification bell on. It's been wonderful to be back on Mallam Goal podcast with another episode. We'll see you again in the next pod. Take care and cheers.